In this class, we are going to discuss about the another topic in nutrition in living organisms. In this class, we are going to discuss about the nutrition in ruminants and amoeba. Okay, so let us come on to the today's topic, that is nutrition in amoeba and ruminants. Okay, so the first is, what do you mean by ruminants? So nutrition in cud chewing animals, or you can say ruminants. The cud chewing herbivores animals, they are regarded as ruminants. Means all the herbivores which are responsible for chewing their cud, they are all ruminants. Now plant eating animals such as cows, deer, goats, buffalo, camels are the common example of ruminants. Then why they are called ruminating? Because they will chew their food two times. Okay, and the second time when they are chewing their food, that food is known as your cud. So that's why they are known as ruminants, and the phenomena is known as rumination. Okay, now the stomach of ruminants consists of four chambers. Okay, unlike our stomach, which is a single chamber, the ruminants having the consist of four chambers. One is your rumen, second is your reticulum, third is your omasum, and the fourth one is abomasum. Okay, abomasum. So now let us see how the digestion occurs in these ruminants. Okay, ruminants. Sorry, how the digestion occur in these ruminants. Now the first stage is the swallowed food first stored in a chamber called rumen. Okay, here whatever their food they are eating, they are first stored in a chamber that is known as rumen. Then from rumen, the microorganisms help in partial digestion of food materials. Okay, there are certain microorganisms that helps in digestion of your food material. Then whatever those food material, these are the plant plant body. So plant body made up of cellulose. So now these partially digested food present in the rumen of the ruminants is called cud. So if you are asked what is a cud, then this partially digested food that is present in one of the chamber of their stomach, that is your cud. Now let us see how happens. Though then digestion in ruminants again, the ruminants bring back the cud from the rumen into the mouth and chew it slowly. This process is known as your rumination. Rumination. Okay, ruminants bring back the cud from the rumen into the mouth and chew it slowly. This process is known as rumination. Okay, so what happened when they are eating? They will just swallow their food, but once they want to digest the food, they will bring back the undigested, partially digested from their stomach, and they will chew in their mouth. And this process is known as rumination. Okay, so rumination means basically they are making the food more digestible. Okay, previously whatever the cud is stored in their body, that is partially digested. Okay, so by mixing it with saliva, they are completely digesting the food. So when the curd is chewed thoroughly by the completely mixing with the saliva, it helps in further breakdown of cellulose content of the plant material and makes it easier for this animal to digest. So why? What is the need of this rumination? They have to perform this phenomena that is known as rumination in order to completely digest the food. Why? Because the food material consists of cellulose, and cellulose are very tough fibers which is very difficult to digest. So in order to digest that, they have to again chew the cud thoroughly and slowly, so that it will be completely mixed with saliva, and ultimately the cellulose will be digested by our body. Okay, now what happened to this then digested food? When the cud is chewed and swallowed again, it enters the third chamber that is known as omasum. Okay, so when the when the rumination is done, this cud is again swallowed. Okay, two times, means the food is swallowed two times. First in the form of a cud, now again the cud is then chewed and again swallowed, and it will enter the another third chamber that is known as omasum, from where food is further digested or broken down into simpler compound. Then it will enter the fourth chamber of the stomach that is known as abomasum. So these are the four chambers by which the food will travel before digestion in these animals. So these animals, they are responsible for digesting this cellulose present in the food material. Now what is the role, how they will digest it? The hydrochloric acid and the digestive juices that are secreted in these chambers of the heart, that will slowly digest this food. Okay, so hydrochloric acid and digestive juices which are secreted in these chambers, they are responsible for basically digesting this food items. Okay, so food, whatever they are eating, they are digested by using this chambers. Then what happened to then this digested food? It is then sent to the small intestine for absorption. Now the food has been completely digested. Okay, now what happened to that food? Digested food. This digested food is then sent to the small intestine for absorption. Like human being also, we knew that once the food is digested, that has to be absorbed by the body. So here also that digested food is absorbed by the body, and the leftover undigested food is passed on to the large intestine, from where it is excrete. So digestion after small intestine, it will very much similar to our case, but before that you will find that they are having different kind of digestion, because unlike us, we are having single chambered stomach, they are having four chambered stomach. So there the digestion process is different from us. Okay, now let us see what is the difference between our digestive system and ruminants digestive system. Okay, what is the difference between the digestive system of human body and ruminants? Okay, sorry. Ruminants have a bag-like structure between intestine and large intestine called cum. The bacteria present in it help in digestion of the cellulose of the food. So what happened? What is the role of this particular organ, that is cum? That bacteria which is present in this organ will help to further digest the cellulose present in the food. Okay, and that's why these ruminants are able to digest the cellulose present in the plant body. Okay, so although their stomach also help in digestion, but whatever the undigested food remain even after the stomach, that is digested by this particular organ that is known as cm, and it is present between large intestine and small intestine. So there contains some bacteria. These bacteria help in digesting this particular food items. Now human being does not have this bacteria in their digestive system, therefore cellulose cannot be digested in our human body. Okay, so it has been asked, then why we cannot digest, why we are not eating the grass? Because our stomach is not capable to digest this grass. The reason is because in order to completely digest this grass, these bacteria are required, and these bacteria are absent in our digestive system. Okay, so although their stomach also performs some work in digesting the cellulose, but the complete digestion is done by this bacteria that is present in the ruminants stomach. Okay, so that's why our body is not able to digest this one uh, plant, whereas the animals, they are able to completely digest the plant and their plant body. Okay, so what happened then? This undigested food goes into the roughage, which helps in our bowel movement. Okay, so what is the role of this then? Whatever you are using the plant product, then that product act as a roughage which helps in bowel movement. Means ultimately it will help in the excretion of the waste from our body. So the role of this roughage is it will help in excretion of the waste product present in our body, that is known as your bowel movement. Okay, bowel movement means excretion. It helps in excretory process. Okay, now the next is your nutrition in amoeba. Okay, so let us see what is an amoeba. Amoeba is a microorganisms which consist of only a single cell. Amoeba is generally found in ponds and lake water. Means generally they are found in dirty waters. So amoeba eats tiny plants and animals as food which floats in water in which it lives. So generally they will take the food which is floating in the water, like tiny plants and animals. And the mode of nutrition in amoeba is known as holozoic. That we have discussed in the previous part when we are discussing about the various nutrition in organisms or animals. Now let us see what are the steps involved in nutrition of amoeba. So basically, like human being, they are also involved the 5 different steps in digestion of food in an amoeba, or you can say nutrition in amoeba. The first is your ingestion. So amoeba ingests the food by forming temporary finger-like projection called pseudopodia around it. The food is engulfed with a little surrounding water. to form a food vacuole inside the amoeba. So amoeba does not have a stomach. So instead of a stomach, they will form a food vacuole which acts or perform the function of a stomach. So thereby they will digest, they will ingest the food that is surrounded floating nearby. Okay, now the next process is your digestion. In amoeba, the food is digested by the digestive system, digestive enzyme which is secreted by the food vacuole and which helps in further breakdown of food. So what is the role of this food vacuole? Food vacuoles generally secrete some enzymes. That enzymes basically what it will do, it will digest the whatever the food that is entering the food vacuole, and ultimately the food will be digested. Okay, now the third step is absorption. As you know that once the food has been swallowed, then next is your digested. Now the food has to be absorbed because they have to perform certain activity. The living being have to perform their growth and development. So the digestive food, digested simple and soluble substances pass out of food vacuoles into the surrounding environment. Okay, so this amoeba will take all the digested food from the food vacuole and absorb in it whole body, because as you know that it's a single cellular organism, single cell organisms. So the food will be evenly distributed throughout their body. Now the food has been distributed. Now what is the role? Another role is assimilation. The absorbed food are used to obtain energy through respiration and makes the parts of amoeba cell, which leads to growth of amoeba. So what about the absorbed food is there, that is absorbed by the amoeba, that will perform respiration, and by respiration it will produce energy, and by producing the energy the amoeba will grow in size or also multiply, produce further its identical uh, identical body parts. Okay, it will grow in size and also in number. Now the last step is your digestion. The remaining undigested food that is present in the work vacuole, that is thrown out of the body by releasing, and the process is known as your digestion. So this is how the amoeba will take food from the outside. Okay, so unlike like our other living organisms, amoeba also having digestive system similar to other, but only here the digestive system is very similar as compared to your animals and your human being. The digestive system of amoeba is very simple, but the process will remain same. It also follow the 5 process of digestion. Now here we have the diagram, or you can say video where the amoeba is taking the digesting food.